as we started, we were talking about prayer. So I gather you understand today's sermon is about prayer. Prayer is change. Prayer is change. Now, I gather that in the Spiritual Church, we don't talk about prayer a lot because that's the church that the other church we used to go to, that they used to pray a long time and talk about prayer. But we do believe in prayer. We said prayer is asking, but not begging, but asking. When you ask for something, you just leave it. May I have a banana and just leave it there? Not beg for that banana, whether you get it or not. Don't beg for it. You just wait for it. You wait for the light to come around that banana, so you can get it. So prayer is asking the God inside us to help us do something. Now, there's a God inside of us that's helping us, and we ask that God inside of us help us do some things, and that God inside of us help us, like, help me be able to start my car. I've got something wrong with this computer with this. I was moving it. So that God ask that God to help you start your car. You may ask to help you start your car, but it doesn't say. I'm just trying to get out. I always do that last. Okay. So you're asking to help you start your car, but you're not begging to help you start your car. You're saying, help me start my car. It means give me the insight or knowledge of someone to come and help me start my car. Send somebody to me. Please send somebody to me to help me start my car. And then you leave it. Not begging. Not, oh Lord, I'm here all by myself. Please help. No. Because you don't need to beg. The energy inside of you, where is God? God is inside of each one of us. The energy inside of us hears us. That energy inside hears us. So that energy inside will either help or not help. But let me tell you something. If it helps, you needed help. It doesn't help, there's something that you need to learn. Remember that. When something does not work in your life that you want to work, and you're asking for it to work, you're asking your friends in the spirit world, your neighbors in the spirit world, your family in the spirit world, and they don't come to help you. They see they're silent. Somebody says, my mother was always there, now she's silent. She doesn't say anything. I don't even see her anymore. They don't knock no more. They don't do anything. But there's something for you to learn. You need to be by yourself. You need to be in the silence for a moment. Be by yourself. There's something to learn. So what do you ask? What is there for me to learn right now? What is there for me to learn? Help me learn what I'm supposed to learn. And then the door opens. The door opens when you learn what you're supposed to learn. Because there are lots of things that we're supposed to learn on this earth plane on our own, without spirit coming to give it to us. We need to learn through what people say, through trial and error. So prayer, asking God specifically that you need help with something to provide you something to do, like provide you with something. Like to work. You would like to say, God, help me with my work. God, help me with my work. Help me, provide me. But then God will help you. But if God feels that you need to, that energy inside of you, not a man, not a woman or a child, but if that energy inside of you that's connected to Frankie down there, and that energy inside of you is connected to me up here, if that energy decides, okay, we're not going to give her that information. She doesn't need to write it. She needs to learn how to get it. She needs to be a little more specific. And so that energy works you a little bit. And some of you be crying all while you working. But once you finish working, what do? You're so happy. You're so happy about the working. Oh my God, all of a sudden this came to me what I should do, and whoo, you feel like God had come down from somewhere else, and we don't believe in it, and gave you an answer. But you know what? Devote yourself to prayer. we associate prayer to the Christian faith. But I say, continue to pray prayer with passion. When we think about prayer, we think about all that passion. We think about being in that Baptist church or one of those Christian churches where they all the passion, they pray with passion. They ask. But we don't have to pray with all that passion, but we can pray with passion. At home you could say, God, I just help me. This God inside of me, help me to cross this barrier. Help me get rid of this husband. Or whatever you're trying to do. Help me. I guess you get some passion with getting rid of somebody. But help me do that. Help me pay these bills off till the end of the year, before the end of the year. You want something, you go with passion, passion, not just help me. There's no energy with it. You are passionate. Help me, give me the strength to work 2 jobs so I can pay these bills off. You have to have the passion and the knowledge to do the things that you want to do. Continue all the time. Not all, sometimes. Pray all the time. And meditate all the time. We often talk about meditation all the time, but pray all the time too. Prayer and meditation go together. Asking and what? Sitting and listening. Sitting and listening. Listen to that voice, that silent voice, which says to you, you will be okay. Everything in your world will come together as it's supposed to, when it's supposed to. Sometimes we don't believe that. We believe that, what happened to me? What big bomb had come through my life and just dropped? Everything is out of place. I don't have no money. I can't pay my bills. My partner is acting crazy. Everything happened one time. What bomb dropped? Sit back. As you ask in passion, help me to find out what bomb dropped here in my life. How to clear up this bomb. Act with passion. Like you really want to know. And then sit back. I guarantee you'll hear something. You'll hear something. And what you want to do is hear something. You don't want to hear somebody telling you something outside. You want to hear the voice. Because that voice, when that voice speaks to you, that voice is truthful. That voice is going to give you what to do. You don't want to hear your friend talking and telling you what to do. Because your friends don't really know what to do. Because their lives, the bomb is already dropped in their families too. But they don't tell you about their bombs sometimes. So you need to know how to clear up the bombs in your lives. And that is how you do it. You sit and listen. You come to listen to Marrice and anybody that's here as they talk. But we will give you little things to help you. But the big thing of wrapping it all together comes from that voice that you hear. We will give you those little tiny tidbits of, things, what you call them, that will help you on this earth plane, that help you, But then, with that voice be loud sometimes. And sometimes that voice is traumatic sometimes. But you have to learn to let it be. Things happen in our lives and happens for a reason. And we think, well, all these things happen in my life. Why did my son get taken? Why did my house was in this flood and I don't have enough money to pay it? How do I pay for this basement that flooded? And the insurance doesn't cover the whole thing. What do? You sit back. And sometimes it takes forever for some of those things. Like you would ask her, why did my father go? Or why did my mother go? Or why did somebody take my son? Then those things don't happen overnight. Because you don't see a light overnight because of those things. Because there's some things you refuse to hear because you don't want to hear. You're not really ready to hear. So you don't hear. Be ready. Count your blessings and listen to the prayer. Devote yourselves to prayer. Prayer counts. All prayers count. Any prayer, and there's no way to pray. Somebody said, Marrice, how do you pray? Pray with your heart. Any way you pray is with your heart. How do you feel? Yes, how do you feel? If you feel sad, pray with your heart of sadness. Pray with your heart of happiness. Pray how you feel. You can't pray how Marrice feels. You have to pray how you feel. God is a part of each one of us, recognizing that each one of us counts. We all count. Not one of us is different, we count. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what nationality you are. It doesn't matter if you pick cotton or you work on the transit line. You all count. Everybody is together and count. If you look across the line from your seat from you and across the other seats, that person across from you counts. And why did that person across from you count? Because that person is a part of you. Every person here is an extension of you. And if I'm an extension of you and I count, certainly you count. So all of us count. And so we need to know that as we see people and we see people outside, we wonder about them, they count. You know, I think about, we're going through this great, migrants part, or what do they call it? The people coming in over from migrants, is that right? Immigrants. Where did I get migrants from? Immigrants. We talk about immigrants. And there is a big question about them, but they count because they're part of us. Now, we may not like how they got here and how the government brings them here and all that stuff, but they count. So I want you to know, when you think about all the things, it's not just them, but anybody on this earth plane, the poor people that sitting out there under that viaduct that you come off at Diversity. There's a man used to sit out there every Sunday. I saw him. And I tried to stop him and said, we gotta go, he's going to cars. But I wanted to give him some because he was a part of me. He counted. You may not know he counts, but he counted. And if I had more money than, he was asking for, I gave it to him. Because he counts, he's a part of me. Because I would want you to help me if I was out there. What would you do if I was at that corner? Would you stop and give me a hand? Would you say, that's Marrice, used to be pastor of the church, why is she on that corner, and you drive on by? Or would you stop and say, how can I help you? Give me your number. Would you want to know why I'm on that corner? Why I'm sitting there? Why I got that can in my hand? What is it that got me there? Some of those people out there were in the armed forces. They was in the wars for us. Many of them, a lot of them. Some of them was colonels. Some of them had big positions. But we don't know what happened to them. But that's the same thing. If I end up on that corner, you'll be saying, what happened to Marrice? Same thing. You never know what happened. So we always got to say that everybody counts, that we're a community, and that we as a community should always be present for everybody. Communication with God is the most important thing. Sometimes I just ask God, I just talk to God when I'm not even nothing happening. I'm just saying, thank you, God, thank you, God. I be looking for something, and I look forever. God to see my God in my spirit force just let me look forever. They said you got to be more organized, Marrice. And so I'm like, oh. And I look forever. Then all of a sudden they have me define what I was looking for. I'm like, why have you been looking for this? It's right here. And they said because you need to be more organized. So that's one of my things that I listen to spirit. So I was telling somebody this year I'm gonna be more organized. I may be starting out a little bad, but I'm gonna be organized. But spirit is saying that to me, that in order to keep up with what I have and know where everything is, I have to be organized. So I can't leave a check here, and I need a place for it. Everything has its place. That's organization. And so I tend to say that it has its place wherever it goes. The Spirit says no, it has its place. So I realize that now. So they talk to me like that. So Spirit talks to you in many ways. Now, some of you have Spirit talking already to you for the new year about things in your lives and things you didn't do properly. And you wonder, what happened? Let me tell you what happened. You missed the mark. You just missed the mark. But the blessings are coming. Communicate with that God inside you all the time. God should be communicated with all the time. That God is the God inside of you. That powerful God inside of you. So prayer and meditation is the key to opening the door. Bless you.